let's beat this summer heat with some crockpot recipes. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. I'm going to be sharing some super easy and delicious crockpot recipes with you guys in today's video. We are officially in summer and it's been in like the 90s to 100s, so it is hot. So one of my personal and best ways to cook dinner for your family but keep the house cool is crockpot recipes. So today's video is extra special because it is a collaboration with Kat over at Southern Farm and Kitchen and Sammy over at Managing the Maze. We have got together and we're going to share all kinds of crockpot recipes with you guys. So you're going to have loads of inspiration. There will be a playlist linked down below, so make sure that you click the playlist when you're done with this video and check out their amazing recipes. I have already seen some of the ones that they've cooked up and they are delicious. So let's get to cooking, y'all. We're going to go ahead and start with what everybody has been waiting for, and this is the French onion meatballs. I'm super excited to share this one with you guys. It is so good. So first, I'm going to make my own meatballs. I'm sure you could use frozen. I have not tried that. I like making my own. I do have this recipe typed out for you guys, so I will have it linked down below so you can get exact measurements. But for these meatballs, I have just got 3 pounds of ground beef. I've got me some eggs in there, some Worcestershire sauce. I'm going to season it up with some Badia Complete, but you can just season with your heart, what you know your family is going to enjoy. And then we're going to add in some breadcrumbs, and then I'm just going to mix that together well, but I'm not going to overmix it because that could make them dry. And then I'm going to just form them into my meatballs and get them searing in a pan. I sear my meatballs before I put them in the crock pot. That's going to render off some of the fat, and it's going to give the meatballs some color as well. While those are all cooking up, I'm going to add a can of the French onion soup in the bottom of my slow cooker, and I'm just going to layer in the meatballs as they get done searing. Now, you're not cooking the meatballs all the way through. You're just giving them a little bit of color and just rendering off some of the fat. Just a few minutes on each side is perfect. They will finish cooking in the crock pot. So I'm just going to layer everything in, add the meatballs, add some onion, add some French onion soup, just until all of those ingredients are gone. And then we're going to put the lid on it and cook this on low for 8 hours. I did stir this every couple hours in the crock pot just to kind of keep the meatballs cooking evenly and letting those onions cook down. Here's what it looks like when it is all done. They are cooked through. You just want the internal temperature of 155 for ground beef. And y'all, these were so good. So we want to thicken up that gravy because we're going to serve these over mashed potatoes. So I've just got a cornstarch slurry that I have made. It's equal parts corn, starch, and water, and I start out small, and you can always add more, but you can't take away. So I kind of do like 1/4 cup at first, give it a mix, let it sit a couple minutes. If it's not the thickness that you want, you can always add another 1/4 cup. You know, you can just kind of use your judgment of what, you know, you like and how thick you want your gravy. But these were amazing. So good, served over some mashed potatoes. So let me show you how I put together the mashed potatoes. I will have this recipe linked down below. Honestly, crockpot mashed potatoes are my #1 by far favorite crockpot side dish. So I've got my potatoes there. I have just washed them, peeled them, and cut them up. I'm going to cover them with water. And then we are going to add in some seasonings. You just use whatever you like. I like to do like garlic powder, onion powder, salt, and pepper. And then I'm also going to add in some chicken bouillon powder. If you don't have the powder, then just use chicken broth instead of the water and the powder. Just use whatever you have on hand. And you're just going to give that all a good mix. And this is going to cook on high for 4 hours, and it will be done. Once they're done, you're going to drain them, and then you're going to go ahead and add in some butter and some dairy of your choice. And then I put the lid on that and let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes just to heat up. Mashed potatoes do so much better if your dairy is warm. It just makes them really smooth and creamy. And then I just hand mash them in my crock pot. Add, of course, salt and pepper if I need to. And then you can't forget to add that butter on top. Here is what the meatballs looked like. And then we also had the delicious mashed potatoes. And then I also fixed some shells and cheese as well. And y'all, this was so good. This was like just straight comfort food to me. This was delicious. Next up, we're going to make pesto chicken. I have shared this one many times on my channel, but it's definitely one of our family favorites, and it is so easy to put together. It is literally 2 ingredients. It is boneless, skinless chicken thighs and pesto. That is it. So easy. So you need about like a small, I think it was like 6.5 or 7 ounce bottle of pesto, but I have not had any luck finding any in the store, so I looked up and found a bigger jar of it at Sam's Club. So I just kind of measured out that same ounce, you know, what it would be if I had got just a single jar, and I'm just kind of layering that on top, smoothing that out. And then you're going to put the lid on it and let it cook for about 4 hours. Chicken thighs do not take near as long to cook in the crock pot. That's one of the reasons why I love it, because say you forget about dinner, but you have chicken thawed out, you can literally put this on at lunchtime and have delicious dinner for your family. So here's what it looks like when it was all done. I just shredded it up. We served it along with some Parmesan butter noodles and some garlic bread. And like I said, this is definitely one of our favorites. And I remember the first time I made this, Luke was like, "I'm not eating this, it's green." And he has been asking for it for years ever since. Next up, we're going to do smothered pork tenderloin. Now, I have to say, when I do my pork tenderloins, I don't ever do like the same recipe twice. I kind of just let whatever like flavor pork tenderloin I have kind of see like how I want to do my gravy. So for this one was the peppercorn one. I got these on markdown for $3.50 a piece. I was super excited about that. And so what I did is I took a packet of brown gravy mix, added the water that it called for on the back, and then I mixed that with a can of cream of mushroom soup with roasted garlic, which is my new personal favorite. I mixed that together, poured that over top, and then I'm going to put the lid on it and let it cook on low for about 6 hours, and it just falls apart. It's super tender, and it is always delicious. Here's what it looks like when it is all done. And then what I do is I just take the tenderloins out and I just kind of cut them with a knife, but they normally just fall apart. And then I'm going to thicken up that gravy so that way it gets nice and thick. Same thing like the first recipe, just a cornstarch slurry, equal parts cornstarch and water, and then you just thicken it up to your liking. So I'm going to cut up the pork, add that back in, put the lid on it, and just kind of let it sit for about 15 to 20 minutes to marry back together and get that, gravy nice and thick, and we'll serve it up. We served it up with some sweet peas and stick of butter rice. I'll have that recipe video linked down below for you guys. That's definitely a favorite around here. And then we also did some crescent rolls. There is the pork, and here is my plate. This was so good. Some good comfort food, y'all. Last but not least, we are fixing some Italian beef subs. This is definitely another family favorite. I'll have this recipe linked down below for you guys. So all you need is a 2 to 3 pound roast. You're going to need some banana peppers and the juice. I like to use about half the jar of banana peppers when I do this recipe, and then about a half a jar of juice. It just kind of depends on flavor wise if you want like strong banana pepper or not. And then you also need a dry packet of Italian, and I just sprinkle that Italian seasoning right on top of there, and then I add my banana peppers on, and then I do the juice around, and then I also do a little bit of water that's about like 3/4 to halfway up the side of the roast. Just put water around, and then I put the lid on it and let it cook for a good 10 hours. Roasts need a long time to cook. If you notice that your roast is not shreddable by the time it's time for dinner, you probably needed to put it on a couple more hours early. That's what it looks like when it's all done. And then I just take my meat chopper, and like I said, it just falls right apart. You know it's done if it falls apart. It's super tender and delicious. We have just got our sub buns, some provolone cheese, also set out the mayonnaise and the Miracle Whip, whatever they want to use, and then you just build your sandwich with your cheese and your mayonnaise. And then we serve this along with some zucchini fritters, and I'll have that video linked down below for you guys. And that's it, guys. That wraps up today's crockpot recipe video. I really hope you enjoyed all of these super easy and delicious crockpot recipes. This is definitely one way to beat the summer heat. Let the crockpot cook dinner for you. Don't forget that today's video was a collaboration, and I will have the playlist linked down below. Definitely go check out Kat over at Southern Farming Kitchen and Sammy over at Managing the Maze. I'll have both of their channels linked down below. Go give them some love. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.